Okay, guys, we are here today. It's me and Vipul, and the others, for one reason or the other, are not here. But before we start, just a confirmation is what I would want from you. Can you hear me? Are we clear? Okay, Priyanshu says good evening. So I guess we are audible and we are visible also. Okay, so 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 uh, so today is a off day for some of us. Small issues at hand. Unfortunately, Jijo has been diagnosed with COVID, and or rather, COVID has struck his home. He's yet to be diagnosed positive or negative. He's gone for testing. So obviously, he's not available because of the fatigue and the body ache, etc. Good news is that Ravi Teja has been blessed with a daughter. So obviously, he has to take care of his wife and daughter for the next couple of days. So he's not available today. Aks is traveling, and that leaves me with the Vipul. And the
Yeah.
Shivku also is or had some prior engagement. He did not factor that Ravi's daughter and Jijo will be deciding to take off date together. So I guess we can get started with it. So first thing from you, how was the paper? How did you find about the three section? What would you say? Okay. Any inputs from your side? I'll just share my screen also. Okay, just give me. Okay, easy. VRC was tough overall, moderate, easy. Yeah, I thought that DIS, alias, I'll agree with you. DI, I think was easy. VRC, I felt was while I've just glanced through the paper, I've not gone through it in detail. I felt it was almost like CAD, and Quant was a moderate kind of paper. Vipul is here with me, and
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you would have had taken classes with Vipul or seen his attempts and solutions. So Vipul will be joining me. Vipul is from Career Launcher Dehradun and Roorkee and takes care of IIT Roorkee as well as the Career Launcher Dehradun. Okay. So Vipul, you have taken only the quant section.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi everyone. So I hope I'm audible. Yeah. So I took the live analysis and live attempt of Prime Cat 6 quant section, guys. I hope you all have seen it. If you have not, you can log on to your aspiration and there you'll be able to see that. My way of attempting that. And yes, after attempting the paper, I realized that yeah, there were few questions which were doable, and the one learning is nothing but we should not go with a kind of a mindset that I will be doing this or that while attempting a paper, guys. Right. So if I compare, you'll be able to see that also that
Mhm,
paper
mhm.
was at par with what came in the CAT 21. I would say a bit easier than the earlier Prime CAT 5. Yes, I mean we'll see that in the detail as well. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's quickly go through the paper. I'll just share the PPT, and then we will look at all the three sections. So let me just share the PPT. Uh, okay. Yeah. So Vipul, if you can confirm if the PPT is visible.
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vipul, I'll not be able to see the comments, and so please feel to free to pitch in wherever required. And if
Yeah.
there are any comments, feel free to just talk about it. So very quickly, first thing
Fair enough.
about the paper, if you look at this mock six, time cat six, this is six, no, not five. So
Yeah,
we
it is
start
six
off with a
basically.
typo. So we
Yeah.
start off with a typo. That's okay. 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 So if you look at versus CAT 20 and 21, and it is very clear that 6 is closer to CAT 20 and 21, while 5 was somewhat more difficult. And we
Right.
have discussed in the last session why it was difficult and what happened out there. I think one issue definitely is the DI part. But overall, if you look at this is a paper which overall at the 99 percentile level is slightly on the higher side, but at the 99.5 level, it is almost at the same level. And that's what typically happens. But at the other end, if you look at the lower levels, I think this is where the it was slightly doable DI sets is what has been the difference. When you'll
Right.
find that this is these marks at least till about 95 percentile are or slightly on the higher side, and then they come closer to the actual CAT paper from 99 or 90. That gap keeps on reducing. Okay? So that is what is visible out here. Okay. Now, Uh, if you look at the VRC section, okay, and this is a very very interesting thing. Look at the percentiles and the scores, almost the same, almost the same. So this is exactly like cat as far as this paper is concerned, exactly like cat, and and as far as this paper is concerned, I think the Gijo has done a terrific job in terms of this paper. Uh, Vipul, have you been able to go through the English section
No, sir.
or
I
no?
actually, I
No.
mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So in any case, Gijo has created the solution. The video is already ready and would be shared with you in your aspiration account, so you could go through it. But to me, the first thing which is obvious out here is the this paper very very closely resembles the older cat papers. Okay. Okay. Now the issue here would be again to me would be these kind of things. Why have so many people attempted these questions? Okay, and why is it that passage C, the comics passage, which appears to be somewhat easier as compared to the others? Okay, and thirdly, I'm still a little worried about this particular part. Okay, so this is where I think you'll need to possibly look at doing something. Any specific issues you faced as far as this section was concerned? Okay, let me see. Chole Kulche has joined Curry Launcher family. Good. Chole Kulche. Okay.
Nice name, actually.
ठीक है. Okay. So, okay. Now, if you look at the data, all you needed to do if you started with the first passage was to probably leave this one. The other three are moderate. The easier ones are actually coming later. So comics is a reasonably easy, and para summary. I hope I'm extremely happy with this percentage accuracy. This obviously means that some of you have definitely put in some amount of effort out here. Okay. Okay. So I'm not going to spend too much time out here for the simple reason that as I've just had a glance through the paper when I came to know that Gijo is not available, and so the right approach for you is likely to be that you should probably go through the video solutions. But if there anything specific out here, would be happy to take it up. Okay. To me, the issue, as I said, is why is it
Yep.
that 75% of the students have attempted it just because the first question? That does not make sense to me. To me, it is the comic set which seems okay to me. This is fine. This is okay. Parajumble, actually, I am reasonably happy with the 40% accuracy here. And this one obviously is a little on the lower side. Okay. Okay.
Also, there's one
Yeah.
student, Kushagr, he says that
Mhm.
VA section I generally don't attempt and achieve higher accuracy with RC. That's pretty okay. That's pretty okay. But you cannot go with any kind of a preconceived this thing that I will be doing it and I will not be doing it. Because there is a possibility when you are solving a question, the level of difficulty of RC is on the higher side, maybe in terms of giving you the option choices. But then at the same time, you talk about a question which is a verbal logic that is para summary, as the case was this in this also, they were very, very easy. Right. So my
Okay.
sincere advice would be nothing but yes, we have to master when it comes to RC is concerned, but at the same time, we should not go with the mindset that I will not be doing it.
And
Right.
Kushal, one simple thing which I want you to remember, is there any real difference between a reading comprehension passage and a para summary? They are the same. A reading comprehension passage has four paragraphs. A para summary passage has one paragraph. That's the only difference. Now, which actually makes para summary easy because when there's a lengthy of four paragraphs, you need to remember more stuff. You need to remember the correlation between the paragraphs. In a single paragraph passage, you don't have to worry on those aspects. So my sincere request to you would be, if you think RC is a strong point for you, para summary is RC, and that is where you could look at moving. Okay, that is what you could look at. I understand that para jumbles will take time to understand. That is a little more difficult. That requires a greater amount of focus. But again, odd statement is comparatively easier. So my suggestion would be look at definitely para summary and odd statement till the time you master para summary, para jumble. Sorry, till the time you master para jumble, you should focus on rest of the paper, and in the end, spend a couple of minutes, if not on all three, at least one or two para jumbles, and try to get it right. Okay.
True, true, true.
Okay. Bhaskar says, Bhaskar, I'm not able to understand which question is difficult, which is not. Hence, I got many incorrect. Bhaskar, that is not the question. Which is difficult or indifficult or easy in English is not the issue. The question to ask yourself is, have I understood the passage and the question or not? If you have not understood the question or the passage, it is a difficult question for you. Okay, so that is where, as far as English is concerned, parasummary is concerned, reading comprehension is concerned, it is not about difficult or easy. It is about my comprehension. If I have understood, I have comprehended, I am able to eliminate choices. It's easy. Otherwise, it's not. So if I get confused between choices, then obviously it is not a easy question for you. Okay. Attempted. Rahul says attempted 10 in RC, only 3 correct. Rahul, the question is why? Okay. So this is what you're saying, a statement of fact or data. These are what I would call symptoms in case of in a medical scenario. This is a symptom. Jijo has fatigue and body ache. These are symptoms. What is the cause of that fatigue, body ache, sore throat, etc. is the cause that needs to be addressed. Similarly, out here in your case, 3 right and 7 wrong in 10 is a symptom. What caused that is what you need to work on. So the analysis part is what you need to look at. Yesterday, Gijo and I did a video and released a video on how to analyze the VRC section. Please follow that. Okay. In fact, Kuldeep, I think this is an important question. When I attempted RC with gut feeling, I achieved more marks than using techniques. Kuldeep, follow your gut feel. What you're telling me, Kuldeep, most probably you have a reasonably good reading habit, and intuitively or your logic works in a way that you're able to pick up the right answer. And when you start going through the option and try to use techniques, you end up confusing yourself, hence you get a wrong answer. Okay. So Kuldeep, if your gut feel, your intuition is working, please follow it. Don't have to change. What is important is, are you able to get the right answer? Are you getting good, better marks with gut feel or with technique? Whatever gives you better marks is what you have to follow.
And at the same time, as I stated, or it was stated earlier also, like we should always take the second attempt of the very same paper, guys. I mean, let's say you've got only 3 correct out of 10. So is it because of you were actually not reading everything in detail and are able to identify, or it was something else? Now how you will be able to identify is nothing but just take that entire section again without time limit, and then see whether you are able to get more correct or not, because that way you will be able to identify the basic reason. Is it like you were not reading everything out there and actually overlook the passage, or it was because you were not able to comprehend, right? So therefore this has to be done, and then it has to be followed by one tool is there, which is drill down analysis, guys. I hope all of you are aware of that. I'll come to that also when we talk about quant, because drill down analysis is a tool which will help you to identify what is your strength and what is your weakness, right? So we'll talk about that also, right? But that is something which is very very important, so that you get to know whatever your strength is actually your strength, or you just seem or think that, right? Okay, right, sir?
Uh, yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
again, this is what Vipul said. Is again something that you need to do. Pursuit of happiness, 45 to 99 percentile, huge amount of variation. All that means is you are not aware what works for you, what does not work for you, and which is why I would again strongly say yesterday's video which Jijo and I have done on how to analyze the paper or how to analyze the VRC section, we will be doing for the other papers also shortly, other sections also. But please go to the VRC one immediately and start working on that aspect. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. Then 3 questions all correct. Okay. Same. All those you are saying you're getting lot of wrong answers. You are getting confused between two choices. Please understand. I hope you are not worrying about speed. When you go for speed, your comprehension can go for a toss. So please don't worry about speed. Go through yesterday's video, understand how to analyze the section, and then let's have another round of discussion on this issue. Okay. Now with this, let me just go back to the PPT. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. DILR section. Comparatively easy as compared to the CAT papers, older CAT papers. Okay, so easier by about one odd question. 28 to 31, 34 to 38, 38 to 41. Okay, So let's say about 3 to 4 marks is the difference, which is typically about one question is the difference. Okay, and as far as this section is concerned, okay, uh, I felt that people would be able to get a higher score. Okay, okay, I thought you will be able to get a higher score. Any idea why? What happened? Okay, okay, okay. The three sets were doable. Yeah, which one? Again, it's a question of which are the sets that you were looking at doing in the paper. Okay, okay. DILR seven attempted, six correct. Last full set correct. That was the easiest set. Yeah, selection of set. Last set was easy. Not only easy, it was taking a very. If you just use the deviation method, you could do it very fast also. Okay, just let me just go to the paper. Just give me a minute. Okay, okay. Let me let me change this. Okay, let me remove. Okay, let me remove this and let me quickly go to the paper and let's have a look at that.
So Kushag, that means more the exposure, the better chances are we'll be able to do it. So guys, I mean, when you talk about LRDI, it is more of an exposure, because if we have seen the test earlier, so automatically once you come across that threat again or something of that type, you will be able to think in the right direction and you will take less time to think, basically, right? So therefore we always say for DI that you have to solve LRDI set every day. The more sets you solve, which came in the last few years, so automatically you'll be able to take a leave out of that and we'll be able to actually get in the right direction in a lesser span. So that's one way wherein we'll be able to increase our number of attempt also. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yes, sir.
guess everyone can see the paper now.
Yeah. Yeah. Question number 20, 31 to 34. Yeah. It is
Perfect,
visible,
perfect.
sir.
So very quickly we'll go through the paper. Now this and Vipul, I think you would
Yeah.
remember this data set. This is either this kind of data set. If you just go through it, you'll possibly remember it is, I think, CAT 20 data set. Similar data set arrangement of parking slots. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a
It was
data
there. It
set
was
which
there.
requires. Now there's one thing which I've done the attempt of this paper. Recording is available. I've not attempted. I've solved the data sets. Now, please remember one of the things which happen in these kind of data sets, this is just a background. And in such data sets, whenever something new is given, this is where the concept is explained. And it is important for you to make sure you understand this part. Because if you don't understand this explanation of the data set, there's no way you will be able to solve the data set. Go through it once, don't understand, go through it again, don't understand, leave it and move on is the rule I will follow. Now, in this data set, typically I would say this is a question which you could have left, but as far as question one is concerned, this could have been done with the help of choices very fast. And question three and four are very straightforward. So this was a data set in which you need to do possibly three questions out of four if you do it. Okay. Uh, the second one looked like a huge amount of work, lots of long statements and so on and so forth. But end of the day, when you start solving the data, you realize it is not going to take time. What was also visible out here was if each question is going to be an independent kind of a thing by and large. But I neither in this set nor the other sets were the choices of any help to us. This was one of those paper where you had to sit down and say, okay, I'll solve. No jugaad to be used here. As far as you are concerned, just solve the question and move on. Okay? And how many of you struggle with these two questions, question 5 and 6, if you solve this data set? Yeah. Okay. The last two questions of that this particular set. Yeah. Now this is there is a small amount of confusion as far as this particular data set is concerned. It talks about profit. It talks about profit, but profit is a function of expenditure or income. Something should have been given, it did not. And what are these two questions? These two questions happen to be theta or with definite answer choices, and something called a none of these or let's say data insufficient are completely missing. So cannot be determined is missing. Insufficient data is not here. So as far as I am concerned, I have to mark an answer. And this is why I always say my job is to pick up the best among the options. Okay? My job is to pick up best among the options. If you are not clear what to do, you could have left these two questions. So in general, I would say the approach should have been in the previous set you do three questions. In this second set, you do 4 out of 6 questions, because these are questions which can be confusing. Because we are given out here profit, I would have been happier if instead of profit they had given return on investment. But frankly, it does not matter. End of the day, if I don't understand, my job is to leave. So in this set, you could have done 4 questions, left two, or you could have said, okay, end of the day, profit on the investment is what they're talking about, and let me take a chance and go ahead with it. Your choice completely. Okay. The third set is the one which I am sure. Did I miss a set? The Shark Tank. Oh, I missed the first set actually. Yeah. Okay, I missed the first set. I was wondering क्या हुआ उसके अंदर. Okay. Now this is the set which I will possibly keep for later. Okay. Not that it is difficult, but the amount of understanding required is high, and the calculation level could also be a little on the high side. I would say not very high, but to me the easiest set end of the day was the last set. Okay, yeah, this one. Anyone who got this wrong, not acceptable at all. If you miss this set, if you did not get all four right, then you have messed up this paper completely. Last year, if we look at CAT 2021, each of the three slots, each of the three slots had one set which was of this level of difficulty. So these are 4 questions for the taking. Okay, and you can't afford to miss this kind of a data set. Anyone out here who missed this data set, as I said, it is not at all acceptable. This is something you should have definitely got everything right. Very easy, does not take too much time. You can work on the deviation method. Okay, I hope you are aware how to use the deviation method out here. Yeah, 4 minutes, 12 3 marks, absolutely right. Okay, great. So you know deviation method. That is what I would recommend. Don't look at weighted average. The first question was allegation, the other three were deviation, and you could have done it and moved on. So this was a set of data which definitely was to be attempted. And if I look at this, the first set which I missed somehow. Okay. If you look at the first set of data, that was the only one which would have created some kind of a problem. Okay. Yeah. So this is a set which would have been an issue for you. But if you look at set number two, set three, set four. Set number two, you could have easily done 3 out of 4, 4 out of 6, and 4 out of 4. So 4, 4, 8, and 3, 11. To my mind, a score of 33 was there for the taking. If you are less than 33 marks, it is an issue that you need to address. Okay, 33 marks was definitely doable as far as this paper is concerned. And with this, I will go to the previous PPT again. Okay. Vipul, can you see the screen now?
No, the same paper is still visible, sir.
Okay, okay, let me change it then.
Yeah,
Let me stop the share and start reshare.
yeah,
So I'll
that'll be.
rebuild this. Uh, okay, share again. Share screen. I think the easier thing will be to share my screen itself. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll let me do the window only. Okay, yeah, yeah. Now it is fine. Okay. Now, which is why I said initially, my point is, why is anyone less than 30 marks out here? Even if I say set number one, you leave completely. Set number two, you could easily have done, as I said, 3 out of 4. Set number three, it was 4 out of 6. Set number four, 4 out of 4. In the worst case, anyone less than 24 is not an acceptable thing, given that this was a very straightforward set, and this set would not have taken more than 10 minutes. And I'm sure most of you will say, when I say 10 minutes, I'm being very, very, let's say, liberal. This was a 5 minute, 6 minute, 7 minute set on the outside. Okay. So given this scenario, I'm definitely not happy that uh, there are people who are less than 24 marks out here. Okay, and look at this. 50% of the students have tried this particular set. Okay, trade fair. Okay, I can understand that was an issue out there, and extremely happy with this part. Not definitely happy with this one. Okay, okay. Last two questions definitely were an issue. Glad to see that most people have got it right. To me, the issue to ask yourself is, okay, I'm sure many of you would have done those inventory management kind of data sets. Okay, where we say there's an opening stock, there's a purchases, there are sales, there are disposals, and there's a closing stock. Those kind of data set, the first set was almost similar to that. Obviously, you had to get the logic in place, and that is where this set would have taken you 2 minutes extra. Okay? But to me, what is good is that most of you have done these two. I think between these two, I'm definitely not happy with. I'm okay with question 32 people getting it wrong, but 31 was straight away with the choices. And question 31, if you have got it wrong, it means that you have possibly not understood the logic. If you have not understood the logic, this is what is typically going to happen as far as this paper is concerned. You need to understand the logic which is there. If you don't understand the logic, this will be a definite issue. Okay.
Also what we can do, sir, I mean, when you talk about this, since we have seen that if we get a score of around 30, it will be nothing but around 97 plus percentile. Now that
Hmm.
means doing 50% of the paper correct, and then I'm getting that score.
Hmm.
And this is like, I mean, when I say this, that means when I start the paper, when I talk about LRDI section, so my way of looking at this is going to be nothing but, yes, if there are 4 data set, I'll be attempting only first 2 data set, which I feel like easy. The
Hmm.
point which I'm trying to make is nothing but, even if I'm spending around 3-4 minutes in identifying which data set I'll be doing, I should spend on that. Because at the end of the day, I know if I'm able to solve 2 data set in a span of maybe around 30-32 minutes, so that means I will be able to reach to a level which is 97 percentile. But in most
Yeah.
of the cases, what we guys generally do is nothing but straight away, the moment I look at the first data set, okay, since there are only 4 data set and the clock is ticking, so why not do this? And we spend time in that, spend time in that. And the previous data also says you get 17 score, that means only one data set correct and you're there in 75 percentile. You get 18, that means one more mark, you're there in 80 percentile. So therefore, guys, while attempting, just give yourself, tell yourself, yes, first aim is nothing but to cross that barrier of that 95 percentile, which is around 29 marks, which is around 10 questions. 10 means 50%. That means I have the leverage of leaving 2 data set in the beginning and look out for only the remaining one. So that way, probably you'll see that each one of you will be able to get around 99 or at least 95% of the percentile in the actually mock.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
Shubham is
Shubham, I'm
saying, yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, Shubham,
please,
I'm
sir.
sure not only you, but many other students have this issue that we are not able to increase speed. Now, please understand speed is a function of two different things. One, it's your exposure. What Vipul said a little while
Yeah.
ago, how many different kind of data sets have you seen so that when you look at the data, you have at least some starting point, you know where to start from, what kind of table to make, and so on and so forth. For example, in this particular paper, the first set of data, I'm not sure how many of you were able to correlate it to saying, okay, this is kind of inventory management kind of a data set. Okay. Second is the revision which you have done. How many times have you done those sets where you get stuck, where you are struggling a bit? Because these are the sets which you will waste time in the paper. You will think you will be able to do it because you are not very confident of those. You will end up wasting time. So the issue there is, are you revising or not? And so, Shubham, my suggestion to you and all others is, once a week you should do only one thing. Identify all the sets where you struggle a bit, not the one which you can't do at all. Forget about them. The ones which you struggle, they are doable, you get confused. Those are the sets you should revise. And revision means solve it completely by putting pen on paper, making a table, and going ahead with it. Okay. Only then you will be able to increase your speed. So remember, speed is a function of exposure and revision. Both have to be done. So at this point of time, if you're able to do two sets of data, getting 9 out of 9, great performance, Shubham. Continue with the process. Now look at doing the same things again and again so that your speed goes up, and with more exposure of different kind of data sets, you will be able to handle it much better. Okay. 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 So I guess we can then move to the DI, the QA section.
Right,
Yeah.
right, sir.
Okay. So first thing first, QA. Okay. Compared to 21. Okay. Uh, 20 and 21. If you look at this, this is again somewhere between the two. Somewhere between the two. So by and large, it seems to be bisecting CAT 20 and 21. By and large, especially at the upper levels. At the lower levels, it is almost at the same level. Okay. Now, Vipul, since you have
Yeah.
taken up the paper like a stone, my first question to you would be, Vipul, how many questions do you think were easily doable? What this is telling me is 7 questions or 8 questions. This is about 9 questions. This is 10 questions. And this is 13 questions. Okay, 99 percentile at 13 questions, by and large, the norm. Okay. So Vipul, as far as this paper is concerned, what was your feeling of how many easy questions were there and how many questions do you think a student should have been able to attempt comfortably?
Right, sir. So when I talk about this prime cat 6 and QA, so guys, I mean, if you want to attempt more number of right answer, first thing which I always say during my class with the IT people also and otherwise also, that while attempting a paper, you need to keep your ego aside. Now, when I say ego aside, what do exactly I mean by that? Now let's say I'm an engineer and I'm very very good when it comes to solving questions which are algebra or maybe geometry is concerned. Yes, it is good, it is perfect, but when you talk about this 40-minute time, so my first aim is nothing but keeping two three things in mind. One, that every question carries equal marks, so therefore solving a harder question or a tougher question, I don't have to satisfy my ego. It's just how many correct I can do in that span of time.
Yeah.
Two, I
In
always
fact,
say,
Vipul, in fact,
yeah,
Vipul, I would, on the contrary, say solving a difficult or time-consuming question is stupidity because, as you rightly said, equal marks. So
right, sir.
Vipul, if you look at this particular paper,
Hmm.
how many would you say were easy questions? How many questions would you expect any student who's reasonably well prepared to be able to do comfortably?
Sir, when I say people, even if they have joined 2 months back and started their preparation, so there
Hmm.
were few questions around. Nine is something which I can say everyone can do it, even if you have not completed 50% of syllabus.
Yeah.
That means,
So if
that
you've done
means
only arithmetic and start done arithmetic, even then you should be able to do 7, 8 questions, if not more.
yes, with basic common sense, we'll be able to solve around 9 to 10, even if I've not studied algebra or geometry. Because while
Hmm.
attempting the paper, when I was going through that, I was just able to analyze that there were few questions which we actually followed the basic, I mean, basic approach, and rather than looking into the variable, 9 is something which is 100%. Even if you have
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
studied for 2 months, you can get that 95 percentile,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And
Right.
just look at the analysis also, guys, which actually I did the live attempt. You will be able to see that, there were
Hmm. Hmm.
questions, but the only thing is if you are not able to get the concept in the first instance, or it is like a lengthy question that you feel, do not
Hmm.
spend time on that, at least in the first round,
So
right?
the question then, Vipul, becomes why have one third of the students attempted question 47? Almost 40% students have tried question 51. And these are the questions which are, I'm happy that 55, where hardly anyone has attempted. But these are the questions which are an issue. Okay. And so from that point of view, I would say there seems to be a reasonably, there seems to be some improvement in the way students have been taking these papers. Okay. Or if I compare with the last few papers. Yeah.
Right. And there are few
Okay.
speed breakers. This is like, I mean, when you talk about question number 47 or 51, so these are the kind of speed breaker which were there. I mean, when you talk about question number 51, which is nothing but PNC question, wherein you're supposed to identify number of numbers, right? So I
Yeah.
actually can see that most of the people who are good or who have studied PNC, they started doing it. Now, at the same time, what I personally feel is nothing but I have that kind of a thing which is in my mind. I will be attempting only 9 to 10 questions in the first round, and see whether I can get those 9 questions.
Mhm,
That means I
mhm.
have the liberty of leaving around 13 questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So,
another question I have for all of you is: were you able to apply Jugaad in a few questions? Okay. Okay. And I can show you again out here again. I will show you question where you could easily apply Jugaad. Like what? I'll just remove this PPT and put up the question paper PPT. Okay. So share screen again. Okay. Where's the PPT? Yeah, this one. Okay. Great. Let's quickly go through a few of the questions. Vipul, since you are here and
yeah,
quant is your strongest area. Okay. So let's look at a few questions. And you could tell the students which ones you think are the speed breakers and which one I think should definitely have been attempted.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So this one I think was a doable question as
yeah.
far as
I
I'm
mean,
concerned. This should not have been an issue. Similarly, the second question also I don't think should have been an issue. Now this is okay. This is a question which could have been a little time consuming for many of you if you have not done a similar question earlier.
and we have got a solved example out there, sir, in our funda book. Same,
Yeah.
and there was a question which once came in the cat also. So that is why we
Yes.
always say exposure is something. If you have done it, so this question was hardly 90-second question. If you have done that in the past and you know the logic.
Hmm. Okay. So this is something, but I would say if you end up leaving this question, I would not be too
Yeah,
perturbed about it. To
right, right,
me,
right.
question number this for the this is question 45. Question 45 should have been attempted. This is 45. Question 45 should be attempted, but leaving question 46 is not an issue. Just because
Yes,
it's time, speed, distance, etc., and you can apply ratio does not mean it should be done. If you have not practiced or revised this kind of questions significantly, this could easily be a 3 to 4 minute question for you, and
yes,
you could still
true.
end up getting a wrong answer. So,
Hmm, hmm.
question to be attempted after reading it, if you think this is something which you're not 100% sure, this is a question which could be left. So, I would say this will probably be a part of the speed breaker for many of you. Okay. This is a question I'm sure many students would have made what I call the silly mistake. Okay. Actually, all most of the mistakes are silly. I don't think there's any intelligent mistake, but these most
Right.
okay, because and I'll tell you where the silly mistake would have happened. What evaporates from 1 kg of mixture? 1 kg of the mixture that contains 5% solute. That means out of 1,000 grams of the mixture, 50 grams is the solute and 950 grams is the water. I'm sure many students have made this mistake out here. Okay, this is the solute. Okay, I'm sure many people have taken it as 50 out in 1,000. Okay, because it says 1 kg of mixture contains five. It's a mixture. In the mixture, there's 5% solute. That means solute is 50 grams and the water is 950 grams. Now, if you have made this mistake, this is nothing but the mistake of speed. And which is why I always say don't try to save 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds by reading the question fast. Because by reading the question fast, that's the only thing you'll save. And you'll end up making this kind of mistake. Okay. Question 48. I'm sure this was straightforward. Should
Yeah.
not have been an issue. Okay. Jugaad, how many of you
Yes.
got this question right? I'm sure many of you have got it right. But still, I want to know what Jugaad did you apply in this question if you did? Anyone? 46 is easy and 45, that's a separate issue.
It's all
We'll
about
come
exposure.
to
Yeah.
it.
I mean, if you have
Okay.
done that kind of a question,
Yes,
it is easy.
yes, yes, Sayed, if you have done similar question earlier, it's fine. Okay. Now, I'm talking about the question on your screen. Any jugaad possible, or did you waste time? To me, the issue is not did you get it right or not. To me, the issue is how did you solve. Okay. Let me give it to you. Now, look at this. What do we have in this question? There's a circle which has a equilateral triangle. You can assume it to be equilateral triangle A, B, C, and AD is the diameter, right? Okay. We need to find BD plus AC. Now these are two chords. These two chords will definitely be less than the length of BD plus AC has to be less than twice the diameter. So my answer has to be less than 16 because the radius is 4 centimeters, diameter is 8. So my answer has to be less than 16. What is this? What,
Option
4 into 2.7. This is negative. Wrong. 1 minus root 3. How can it be an answer? And what is this? 8
more than
into
16. Yeah.
2.7. This is greater than 16. Wrong answer. This is the answer. So this is what I'm asking you. Are you able to do it or not? Are you getting the hang of the methods that I employ for Jugaad? If yes, then it makes sense. If no, that means you still need to go through these methods which I'm sharing with you and start applying them. Okay. This was a straightforward Jugaad question. And when I look at the paper, how many attempted it? What percentage? This is question number mm, 49. 49 fairly high accuracy, but look at the attempts, only 33-34% have attempted. Question 49, only 33-34% students have attempted. That to me is an issue, and out of those who attempted, the accuracy is fairly high, but the point still remains. If you have done by Jugaad, great. That is what I want you to get used to, because these are, and look at this way, only one third of the students have solved this question. Two-thirds of them have got it right. So only 20% of the applicants or the test takers have got this question right. If you are one of those 20% and you have done it the way I have done it, that means you have got the answer in 30 seconds. And that is what is required. You have saved significantly high amount of time. Okay. Okay. So let me go back to the paper. Okay. Okay. This one I'm sure will not be an issue. However, again, the question to ask yourself is, how much time did you spend on this question? To me, this was a 45-second question. Why 45-second question? 30 seconds to read, 15 seconds to answer the question. Okay. The key to understand here is Tara plus Sara have to do the work. Meera did one third of the work. That means Tara plus Sara did two-thirds of the work. Two-thirds of the work in 30 days. That means
So
they'll do the work in 45 days.
45 days.
Okay.
True.
This was simple, straightforward question, yet I find students making equations, solving it. I'm sure many of you have done that. Meera did one third of the work. Tara did one fifth of the work. So Sara will do 1 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 5. That's not required. So what is required is 1 minus Meera. That is what you need to do. Okay. So again, the issue is, are you reading the question carefully, or are you in a rush to go to the calculation? There are more questions which I have done by Jugaad. 53. 53, I use the choices. You can check the Jugaad solution. They'll be uploaded by tomorrow morning. I've done the recording. But this was again a choices kind of a question. And actually, 56 is another question which I found fairly interesting in terms of solving. Let me see what was the accuracy rate for 56. Again, 56 is 25% students have attempted and about 55 have got it right. This question has been attempted by 25% and correct is only 65%. So two-thirds roughly. So only about 15-16% of students have got it right. What do you do about these kind of questions? Draw the figure. Remember, in geometry, I always ask, please draw the figure. And what kind of figure? Symmetrical figure. I'll just give it to you, though I've done the solution and shared on the video also. But quickly, let's do this question. ABCD is a quadrilateral. AB is parallel to CD. Point E is on AB such that AE to EB to CD is 1 is to 2 is to 2. So AE, EB, right? So AE is AE to EB is 1 is to 2. This is 1, this is 1, this is 1, right? And CD is also 2 is to 2. So CD is equal to EB. So I take them to be equal. Okay. So this is CD, right? The question says triangle ADE is 25. Please tell me, will this also not be 25? Will this not be 25? Will this not be 50? What is it that I have done? I have drawn a symmetrical figure, a regular figure. Most of the time, people will end up drawing a quadrilateral like this or something strange kind of a figure. Okay. Okay. So don't draw all kind of strange figures. Draw regular symmetrical figures. The question is very easy, especially when it comes to geometry and mensuration. Please make it a habit that you will draw the figures. So there are more questions like this. Okay, more questions like this. Let me quickly see if there's any other question. This was a pattern question. Start writing down the pattern, you'll get it. It might take you a couple of minutes, but this is the kind of question you should never leave because there has to be a pattern. This was, I'm sure, okay. These are fine.
58 was 58. I mean, when if you go back to 58, sir. Yeah. Again, this was one of those questions which was not tough. And what I generally say is nothing but, guys, if they talk about everything in percentage, if you read it,
Yes,
Sahil, a merchant marks up by 20% and then discount on some part. So I always suggest assume a cost price or a value to be 100, 20% higher
yes.
किया मतलब 120 हो गया, and then start solving it basically. 120 में से क्या बोला? 3/5. So 3/5 of that is going to be nothing but that's going to be 72. तो 72 पर 15% का लॉस डिस्काउंट दे दिया. So we can say we have learned that 10% is 7.2, 5% 3.6 हो गया, ऐड कर 10.8 कम कर दिया. Similarly 10% डिस्काउंट दिया 1/4 पर, 120 का 1/4 is 30, 10% डिस्काउंट दिया मतलब 27 आ गया. And now they are saying लास्ट पर कितना डिस्काउंट दूं सच दैट ओवरऑल इज 105, 5% प्रॉफिट चाहिए. सो रादर देन डीलिंग इन एक्स, इफ यू अज्यूम एनी न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू, तो ब्रेन भी आप देखोगे थोड़ा सा फास्ट चलना शुरू हो जाएगा. एंड दैट इज हाउ वी बी
Actually,
एबल टू
it
सॉल्व इट.
yeah. Actually, there's another question. Let me see. I think which is that question. Yeah, this one. Now, this is a question. If you have again made equation, you have made a mistake. Work
ट्रू.
in terms of numbers. Exactly what Vipul said. Okay, it says the ratio of weight of orange to apple is 4:1. So assume orange and apple to be 4 grams and 1 gram. Weight of packet of apples is twice the weight of packet of oranges. So one packet of orange I am assuming to be 4 grams. So apple should be 8 grams. So the number of oranges should be 1 in a packet and in apple should be 8 in a packet. So you work in terms of numbers, you will end up doing the question faster with lesser amount of confusion. I like Vipul, I am a very strong votary of not using variables. The
नाइस.
moment you bring in X, Y, Z, you only confuse yourself. Let's quickly finish this question. Gia buys 2 packets of apples and 4 packets of oranges, said that the price paid for each kind of packet was an integer. What is the total price? I will assume the price to be 5 rupees for orange and 3 rupees for apple. So how many oranges? 5. One orange, so 5 rupees. Eight apples for 24 rupees.
24.
Okay. Okay. Gia buys 2 packets of apples, so 48 rupees for apples, and 4 packets of oranges, so 20 rupees for oranges. She's given a total of 68. What is the total price she could have paid? It should be a multiple of 68. This is the only
Right.
multiple of 68. Now, the advantage is you work in numbers, you don't get confused. That is what I want you always remember. The lesser you use the variable, the more comfortable will you be with the paper. Okay.
So Harshit, once you
Okay.
got 68, you could have actually thought that answer will be either 68 or any multiple of that, and
Or
this
any
is how you'll be
multiple.
able to say that. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think there are other questions also, which I'll just skip. This one again should. This question use. I hope you remember the 30, 60, 90 right triangle rule. The ratio of sides will be 1 is to root 3 is to 2. This is useful in this question. Please look at the video solution again. If you apply this again, you spend lesser time in doing the question. I find in this question many students would be using cosine rule. Not wrong. Time consuming. Cosine rule will be time consuming. Okay. When you
And
know it's a hexagon, this is 120 degrees, so this has to be 60 degree. This is 60 degree. This is 30 degree. This is a 30, 90, 60 right triangle. Please use this particular rule. Yeah, Vipul, you were
otherwise,
saying something?
yeah, I was just saying, sir, how I go about this kind of a question, nothing but because while talking about the concept also, abhi mere ko
Mm-hmm.
malum hai, if it is a regular hexagon, let's say if it is side is A, so we have to know that there are two kind of a diagonal which are there, alag alag length ke. One is root 3 times of A and the bigger diagonal is twice of A. And
Yeah.
if you know this, so this question was nothing but a cakewalk. क्योंकि क्वेश्चन ने बोला एरिया ऑफ रेगुलर हेक्सागन इज इक्वल टू द एरिया ऑफ द इक्वेटल ट्राइंगल विद साइड 18. तो इक्वल ट्राइंगल √3/4 into 18 square equals to 6 times of √3/4 into side square. तो यहां से मुझे क्या पता लगेगा? आई विल बी एबल टू नो दैट वैल्यू ऑफ a square विल बी 54. दैट मींस साइड ऑफ अ रेगुलर हेक्सागन विल बी √54. अभी साइड रूट 54 है, सो जो AC छोटे वाला डायगनल है, that will be √3 times of A, so that means √54 into √3, which is my answer, which is option number 2. So that means if you know basic things like hexagon के अंदर कितने डायगनल होंगे, what is the length of each diagonal, automatically you will see polygon वाला question is always a cakewalk.
Okay, this one again, I hope all of you got it right. And यहाँ पे some of you may have struggled with 1.15 cube. Please go back to your Vedic maths. Alternately, 1.15 cube is nothing but 3 successive increments of 15%. And look at the choices, you can always approximate. The choices are not close, so approximation was definitely doable out here. Okay, so let me just go back to the PPT now. Okay, I'll have to stop the sharing first.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So there were a few questions. Let me see what were those questions. Okay. Okay, multiple of 4. Absolutely right, Vansham. That was a good thing to do. So one of those questions out here. Yeah. Vansham, it's always a function of the choices. You always look at the choices. Is that the only multiple of 4? Yes, it's possible. Why not? Okay. Okay. I have a jugaad by golden ratio. Harshit, I don't know what is the golden ratio. What is 331? And which question were you referring to, Harshit? This is what Harshit has written. विपुल मालूम है ये 331 वाला क्या गोल्डन रेशियो है?
नहीं sir, I'm not able to regard.
Compound interest. Harshit, which question are you talking about?
Maybe the last 166 sir.
Last one. Okay, that 1.15 क्यूब का. हर्षित बता दो यार, अगली बार मैं भी यूज कर लूंगा.
Maybe वो सर जो वैदिक मैथ्स का फॉर्मूला नहीं, a plus b का क्यूब इज 3x स्क्वायर एंड 3x और 3 का क्यूब, शायद वही वही must be talking about this.
ठीक है, that's 115 क्यूब करके वो डेसिमल लगा दें. ठीक है,
could be
331. So x cube 3x square base plus 3x. Okay, could be
right,
the
right.
same. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so as far as this paper is concerned, again I'm saying when I look at this paper, to me the issue as far as QA is concerned, the accuracy levels that Jugaad possibly some questions you people have missed out on. The video is available. Please go through it. Vipul has also solved the paper and shared it, so you can have a look at that also. Okay. So any other questions from your side?
But one thing I just wanted to say guys sir, last एक चीज बहुत important है, that again which I was mentioning, drill down analysis guys. So once, I mean, if you have taken all these 6 prime cat, so there is a tool which is called drill down analysis on the analysis channel only, wherein you'll be able to see, let's say in quant, how many questions came from particular topic, how many you did right, and what was the, like, I mean, your accuracy basically. So what do I mean by that is, like, I mean, let's say there were 6 mocks and there was a topic like calendar and there was only one question which came and I got that wrong. So that means there's no point, not to worry actually about that, because agar 6 mock mein ek hi question aa raha hai and I'm not good at it, so that means I don't have to concern about that. At the same time, if I talk about a linear equation, same mock, there are 6 questions, or time and work, there are 10 questions, and I'm not attempting more or not getting right, that means I need to address that problem because that has a weightage. So I need to map my strength with the weightage in the particular exam. So that way you'll be able to see your score is bound to get increased, guys. Right? Okay. So that's important.
Couple of things I think which I want to pick up. First thing is Shashi Bhushan. Okay, you are able to do VA and CRCs, but one passage remains unread, not attempted. How should I improve? Shashi, you are wasting time somewhere in the paper. Identify where the time wastage is happening. And again, I'm probably repeating myself. Please go through yesterday's video on how to analyze the VRC section. It will answer your question. So I'm not going to take any more question on the verbal part because that video will probably answer the question for most of you. PG, my mark graph is going down in every mock. In the first mock, I scored 68. In the last mock, 17 marks only. PG, are you rushing through the paper? Or have you decided because I have started preparing, so I should definitely do much better? The first mock you did well because you did not have any expectations from yourself. You went, looked at the question. If you could answer, you answered it. If you could not answer, you left it. you did the paper the right way. Subsequent papers, you have started behaving differently in the paper. Okay. Okay. So Akshata Parul, stuck at 40 marks. Again, same thing. What I said, Akshata to PG. Okay. So please look at where you are making a mistake in your behavior. Don't get stuck on the question. See what is your behavior. Where are you wasting time? Which is why Gijo and I did the analysis for how to analyze the mock paper, the verbal ability section yesterday. Next week we'll be releasing for DILR and we'll try to do it for QA also. Okay. Kushal, the good thing is you are telling me your knowledge is not an issue. So rather than looking at the negatives, you are not able to cross 30, that's fine. But at this point of time, what is very important is your knowledge is not an issue and you are able to solve data sets. The issue is you will need to revise a little so your speed will go up. As you get more and more exposure, your speed will go up. So it will happen. Okay. Okay. Harshit, if you are not able to solve sets of LR, then it's a question of knowledge, which means you need to give exposure to yourself, which is what Vipul had said right at the beginning. Couple of sets of data every day for about 75 days, 150 sets done. That is what will solve the issue. Satyam, you have to remind. Okay, important question from Satyam. Okay, if one section doesn't go well, how to ensure it doesn't affect the next section? Tell yourself everyone else is in the same boat. Tell yourself मेरी लगी है तो सबका हालत खराब है. किसी सब नंगे हैं हम में. That is what you remember. Okay. After all of you are getting the same paper. If you are, despite preparation, are not doing well, the others will also not do well. Okay. Srishti, if you have revised last time box 2-3 times and you are able to solve those questions without looking at the solution, then you don't need to go through them again. Okay. Okay. So Srishti, again, look at the yesterday's analysis. Sorry for repeating yesterday's video from Gijo and me. Next week we'll be releasing for DILR and possibly for QA also together, and that hopefully will. Shreya, it will be launched end of this month most probably. Okay, I think this was important. Vipul, can you tell us sources from where we solved DILR sets of practice apart from past quad papers, the career launcher study material, and your aspiration account? Okay, Vipul, anything else you would want to add?
See, I mean, if somebody has done everything, exhausted, ये सब कुछ कर लिया है sir, तो what I generally do is nothing but not from the perspective of, I would say, typically DILR, but just to improve your LR or the reasoning. So I always recommend, guys, if you're a beginner, you can always start with, I mean, if you have done everything like this, एक किताब आती है जॉर्ज जे समर.
जॉर्ज समझ ज्यादा नहीं हो जाएगा क्या?
सर वो
बट कर
इसलिए
लोगे तो बहुत अच्छा है.
अगर ये कर लिया सब कुछ, सर इसने बोला ना स्टूडेंट ने ये हैव डन, ये सब कुछ कर लिया सॉल्व
नहीं,
लास्ट ईयर का,
the
तो
Vedant
देन
has done only the old CAT papers. So apart from old CAT papers, you have the study material with you, you have your prime CATs with you, mock CATs with you, and you also have the aspiration account. There are more lots of sets. Okay, वो करने
प्लस
के बाद जॉर्ज समझ पक्का उठा लेना.
एग्जैक्टली, और 30 मॉक्स हैं सर. 30 मॉक्स मतलब एवरी मॉक विल हैव 4 डेटा सेट,
हाँ,
मतलब 120 तो आपको नहीं मिलेंगे ही मिलेंगे. दीस गाइस विल बी गेटिंग इट.
yeah.
सो दैट्स ओके.
Dipta Deep. So people, any comment for Dipta Deep? देखो, don't worry about कौन पेपर बना रहा है. There is always a continuity. Okay. So don't worry about who's making the paper. There's a pattern to it. There's a continuity. So the papers will not be significantly different from what you have seen in the last couple of years. And if time management will be difficult, it will be difficult for everyone. So IIM Bangalore is not very different from the others. Harshit, if you are saying it takes you 4 to 5 minutes to solve a QA question, first question, after the paper also, does it take you so much time? Secondly, if it does, that means there's an issue of understanding. However, if after the paper you are able to do it much faster, that means in the paper you are pressurizing yourself, you are probably reading the question fast, missing out on critical lines, and hence you are missing out on important information which could help you solve the question faster. Okay.
And also these guys, I mean, you can also try that thing, guys, while attempting the, let's say, QA section or something, you can always look at the view question paper, so that you'll be able to have the look at all the questions at one go, and then you can actually see, okay, these are the first 6 7 questions which I'll be doing in order to get that 85 wala barrier percentile wala, and then I look out for that. So usse kya hoga,
Yeah,
maybe he'll be able to attempt those questions first. That could be the
yeah,
one thing that can be done.
yeah. Fazil, because मेरे को आता यही है. Unlike people who's great in maths, his knowledge of quant and maths is very good. I am not that knowledgeable. Among the faculty anywhere in the country, probably I have the least knowledgeable with respect to knowledge, with respect to understanding of maths. But my understanding is of a different reasons, and which is why I do this. Okay, okay. But what I will also say, if you have knowledge and you can do jugaad, no one can beat you.
So basically,
Yes,
GP is
Kushag.
not equal to GP is not equal to full jugaad. GP is nothing but content plus followed by the jugaad actually. So you have to recorrect this, right? Right, Fazil? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Kushal, I think it is likely to be a 66 question paper or a 2 hour paper. That is what I'm guessing. I don't think they will so soon move to, because I at this point of time also you cannot be sure that COVID has vanished. Kerala and many other states are again seeing a surge of number of cases. So at this point of time, I would say most probably we'll still have a 2 hour paper, whether it will be 66 questions, 64 questions, or 70 questions incidental. It will be a 2 hour paper is what I'm looking at. Okay, Harish is saying, where do I go at Jugaad Solutions? Video Solutions or in YouTube? Both. You'll get it in both places. In your aspiration account, Video Solutions also. Along with Video Solution, there will be Jugaad Solution also. Alternately, on YouTube also, it will be uploaded. Okay. How to revise? Vishal Bhagat says, how to revise backlog of QA. Okay, backlog of quant. Vishal, you have to you have to say, whatever is your backlog, you don't first let it increase. Whatever is the backlog, don't let it increase. Okay, you keep doing the new things and slowly keep doing the past stuff also which you have missed out on. Okay, but the first thing is you should stay current. Yes, Satyam, we will have jugaad for all CDCs. Okay, okay, okay. So anything else, people, you want to add? Otherwise, we'll close the session.
So, the only thing is, like, I mean, when you are revising, let's say, or you're doing any topic, abhi quant maybe, so what you should do is nothing but, guys, let's say you complete time and work. So just go back to drill down analysis, time and work. There are 10 questions which are there. You can see all those 10 questions at one go. So view them, solve them, so that after understanding the concept inside the class, are you able to solve those questions which appear in the mock or not? That is something which is important. So you should actually revise in that manner also. This way you'll be able to clear your backlog also, and probably you'll be able to see that whether your preparation is mapping with what comes in the mocks or the actual paper or not. That is what you can do, guys. Right?
Tiptari, don't worry whether it is 66, 68, or 70 or 76. It will not matter. It's a 2 hour paper is what I'm going to at least uh, put my money on. Okay. And the final question from Akshata: how not to panic? Remind yourself, Akshata, if you panic, it is going to spoil your performance in the paper. That is what you need to keep reminding yourself. And low marks is not an issue. 60 marks in this paper is 20 questions, which is about 7 to 8 right answers in each of the 3 sections. That's all you need. 7 right answers in each section in 40 minutes. So why are you panicking? Do 2 passages, 3 passages, forget about everything else. Do only verbal and 2 passages, you'll still get 7 right answers. So panic will only going to create problems for you. And what was the 95, 99 percentile last year? Was about 95 marks for 32 questions. One section you get 12, 13, other 2 sections you get 7, 8. You'll still be there, almost 30 questions done. So the panic happens when you look at 66 questions. I have to do all of them. No, I don't have to do all of them. And that is what I keep reminding all of you. You have to choose the right questions to attempt. Don't worry about percentile. Tell yourself 99 percentile in quant is not going to be a very high number of questions. 99 percentile in verbal again is not very high number of questions. 99 percentile in DILR is again not very high number of questions. You have to get 30, 32 correct answers across the 3 sections. You will be almost at a 99. Okay.
Right.
So that is
Right.
what you need to keep reminding yourself.
So 99 score is something 50% of the entire paper. And I know, I mean, most of you actually have got more than 50% in your 12th graduation every vibe. So 50% karna hai and I'll be there in the top 1%. That is something you need to keep on reminding yourself again and again. I will not be doing
Okay.
all 66. 33 is something which I'll be aiming at. And slowly and gradually you'll be there. And this is how you can
Okay.
actually decrease that. Right.
Okay. Great. So we'll close the session here, and just a reminder that next month, 7th of August, we will be having the All India Open mock, and that will be based on whatever cat notification tells us, whatever pattern it gives us. It will be based on that. And next month, 14, 15, we'll be doing race to 99 in the online mode. After which we'll be doing race to 99 physically in across the country. The online race to 99 and the offline race to 99 will be different question papers. We'll be doing slot 2 question paper in the online mode and slot 3 question paper in the offline mode, so that you have two more chances to go through this and get a greater understanding of the jugaad that we use. Okay, and across the three sections. Okay, and finally, uh, you can send your congratulations to Ravi and on the Telegram group or wherever, and get well soon to Jijo possibly. Okay,
Yeah.
then that's it from my side. Goodbye. Thank you, Vipul, for joining us
Right.
today.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All the
Bye.
best. Bye. 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 Bye.